from his studios in New York, it's time for Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Here's your host, Dan Tortora.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Hanging out in the studios on a TGIF. And for those of you children out there, TGIF used to be a lineup of shows on ABC, not just a restaurant. So if you don't know that, please educate yourself this morning because, you know, as a single man, you know, women always ask you now, what are your deal breakers? And Mike Sugamosto, one of my deal breakers is if you don't know TGIF. That's a deal breaker. So we're welcoming the president of the Stallions onto the show. They're 20-0, and Mike Sugamosto is back on. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing well. Do you think that's a fair deal breaker if they don't know TGIF, Boy Meets World, Full House, and you kick them to the side? You got to move on.
I agree with that. I'm good with that.
You know? Sure. I feel like deal breakers are insane now. It's like if you eat a banana, you know, with the peel still on, you can't date me. So this is how I am now. This is how I roll.
No one does that. Nobody does that.
With the peel still on?
Yeah, no. I hope nobody does that.
That's a savage. Mike. So we're here with Mike Sugamosto this morning. Mike, first and foremost, you just had a nice little trip to Boston. How was it?
It was great. It was nice to get away for a little bit. Obviously, still while I was there, I was working on some things for the team, and we just unleashed some news about a new signing. So I stayed busy, but still enjoyed a trip with my family, visiting some family over there.
Now, I'm going to read this announcement. This is what you just put up. The Stallions are pleased to announce the signing of St. Francis College of Brooklyn alum Kevin Douglas. The 6'6" forward comes to the Stallions from his most recent stint in Spain, shout out to family, where he was a member of Club Martinez Valls Basque, averaging 18 points per game, 8.6 rebounds a game, and 3 assists per game. Prior to heading to Spain, Kevin had stops in Peru, Mexico, and Romania, where he averaged over 21 points per game each season. Kevin's also a 2016 silver medalist for USA Basketball, where he competed in the USA 3-on-3 Olympic Challenge and has competed on several world tours for USA Basketball. In 2016, Kevin held the title as FIBA 3-on-3 International Slam Dunk Champion. Kevin's also spent some time in the G League with the Long Island Nets. Please welcome Kevin to the family. So, the team that is 20-0, that added Dane Miller, that added David Hay, you have now added another player, Kevin Douglas. Give me your thoughts on Kevin.
Kevin's outstanding. He had his first practice with us last night and came in right away. He's very similar to Dane. Came in, he's a basketball player, so he fit right in with things. We put sets in, so he got familiar with what we do and how we do things offensively and defensively. He stepped up and was vocal right away, motivating guys and such. So he'll be suiting up this weekend at Binghamton and then at home versus Elmira. So I'm looking for him to have an immediate impact right away.
And I got to ask you, you know, to be a team that's won as many games as you have, just, you know, why bring on some of these guys now? Why do these signings now? I mean, it's a beautiful thing, and it's going to make the team even better. But, you know, just your thoughts on choosing to bring in some of these players at this point in the season.
Yeah, we're getting ready for the long haul. In the ABA, there's a rule where you have to play 3 regular season games to be eligible for playoffs, and with 4 left, I thought this was the best time to bring in somebody where we have a back-to-back weekend this weekend and then a back-to-back weekend next weekend, really to kind of get them familiar with how we do things. He's really made a great transition. He brings us more depth, and it's really important in a game that's fast-paced, such as the ABA with their rules, to have a ton of depth. And you go down through our list 1 through 12, there's not a weakness. Everyone steps on and contributes. So, and then Kevin came at the right time. He's been more than willing. He took a bus to us 6 hours away just to play for us. So he's coming to us at the right time. We're in need of depth, and where health may be running low. So he's here at the right time.
to be able to do something like this, to bring in a Dane Miller, to bring in a David Hay, to now bring in Kevin Douglas, just what you could say about, these conversations and how difficult are they? How easy are they? I mean, what's it been like to bring in these guys?
Honestly, they've been pretty easy. Guys that are passionate about the sport and see what we're doing and see that we're number one, really want to jump on board. I can't say that other players haven't reached out, but my job is to pick the best fit for us and the best option that we have to better our chances of winning a championship. And when Kevin came around, it literally took less than a day to get Kevin on board with us. And within that day, he got on a bus, came to Syracuse. We got him picked off the bus, and then he came to practice. So these conversations have been pretty easy. People want to play, and they're passionate about the sport they love. So that definitely removes the challenge for getting guys signed up with us.
Speaking here with the president of the Syracuse Stallions, Mike Sugamosto. And Mike, going on and looking on SyracuseStallions.com and just taking a look at this schedule and what this team has done. I want to speak with you here because I had for the first time ever a trio of guys came on: Jamel Stanley, Ryan Caldwell, and David Hay all joined the show this week. The DMV Warriors game and the Norristown Knights game, just what you could say about last weekend and what your takeaways were from those two matchups.
I would have to say DMV is the best team we've played throughout the season.
I would agree with that.
They hit us in several different ways with a lot of threes. They were just raining threes. And we got down probably, I think it was between 10 and 15 points. And just to see our guys storm back and face that challenge and that adversity, plus have other guys step up that normally don't, really told me that we're prepared for the long run. When we may see DMV again, when we'll see Jacksonville, if we get to St. Louis, we're going to see the best 8 teams in the country. So it told me a lot that we're ready for any battle.
And when you think about that, what can you say about, seeing some of those teams and knowing about some of those teams that are around the country with over 140 teams in the ABA? Do you feel like you're playing any teams that are similar to maybe what you would see, or is it going to be totally different once you get ready for that stretch? I mean, what's been your takeaway from that?
Teams like Binghamton, teams like Wyoming Valley, teams like DMV, I think those are the caliber of teams that we will see. They are balanced, they're well coached, and they can attack you from many different ways. It was nice to see a team like DMV come up when we only play them one game a year and kind of get a sense of what teams from the southern areas, or at least a little more south of us do. They're tough, they're gritty, and they make you pay for taking plays off. So it gave us a good sense of what we can expect from teams that we haven't seen. So.
How have you seen your team respond? I mean, obviously the victories have come. I was on site, at these games with you, watching the games side by side. What have been, now that your hindsight's 2020 with these games, what can you say about some of these matchups that you've had recently and the team, grinding it out and gutting it out and getting victories? What have been your takeaways from watching the Stallions?
I think, again, just coming back to guys stepping up that haven't really had the chance to contribute in the past due to their spot technically on the depth chart. Like George Graham went from our backup point guard to even third string point guard, now is starting with the departure of Kwani. And he's really stepped up defensively and offensively. He's begun to trust his passing. He's, putting a lot of pressure on the ball. So George has really stepped up. Guys like Ryan Caldwell, who make the most of their minutes, I will say. He comes in with energy, he comes in fearless, and he'll attack the glass right away. Just seeing these players come in from the beginning in October and then watching them grow month by month really says about their investment into the process and really trusting what coach is doing and how they can improve. Says a lot about where we're at now.
That coming from Mike Sugamosto of the Syracuse Stallions. You have games this weekend. You have back-to-back games once again. You will be at Binghamton against your rival on Saturday, February 23rd. You'll be home against Elmira on Sunday, February 24th. Bring me into these two games. You've seen Binghamton a bunch. You've seen Elmira as well. And, in the matchup, first and foremost, in facing Binghamton, you defeated them when you were at home. Then you went on the road and took care of business, both of those games in December. And then you fast forward to them coming to visit you in February and getting that victory. And here you are going to see them again. Just your thoughts on that game.
I mean, walking into Binghamton is a challenge in itself. They do a great job packing their venue. Their fans are great fans. They've been struck by some bad injuries that have kind of knocked some guys out for them. So they've had 2 recent signings, one guard and one big guy. Both are good players. Both that bring a lot of depth to their team. So coming back to the game we played 2 weeks ago, this is not going to be the game that we played 2 weeks ago. This is going to be a battle at their place. I think within their 2 years of existence, they've lost 2 games at home, one to us and one to Rock City. So we're not looking past Binghamton. We're not looking past Elmira. We're focusing on going into Binghamton, doing what we do best, and walking out with that win. I think our added depth will really contribute to that.
And then as far as Elmira, I know when you played at downtown, I believe at IHC, when you were playing there, Elmira had a comeback somewhat in that final piece of the game, and you were able to gut it out. Just what you could say about seeing them again.
Yeah, I mean, at ITC when we play them, we have that just terrible habit of taking our foot off the gas when we're up a lot. I think we're up at like 32. And we took our foot off the gas, rotated some guys in that didn't really put that on-ball pressure in, and their guard, Norman Smith, went off for 40 against us. So I don't see us allowing that to happen. I do know that our guys really want to go 24-0 and really will do anything to get that. I mean, we don't have an easy stretch ahead of us with Binghamton, then Elmira, then Rock City, then Wyoming Valley. 3 of those teams are extremely tough, and Elmira can be tough. So we've got the end goal in mind, but we're not losing focus of what's right in front of us.
That coming from Mike Sugamosto. Games going on this weekend. You can get your tickets by going to SyracuseStallions.com. Go follow the Stallions down to Binghamton on Saturday the 23rd, and then be here against Elmira on Sunday the 24th. Mike, as always, I appreciate it. I thank you for being a part of the show, and I look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care.